15th August 1977, Ohio Wesleyan University had a routine day. But tonight, something was about to happen here that will remain a mystery to humans in the coming years. A reflector called Big Ear Telescope in the university at 10:16 p.m. detected a very large radio signal. This signal reached IBM 1130 computer via telescope and converted to printer from here. In this late night, in the control room, there was no sound of printer. The printed signal was suppressed between all printouts. For now, no one knows that Big Ear Telescope has received an alien signal from Sagittarius constellation. After a few days, the technician of the control room picked up all the printouts and left them at the home of astronomer Jerry F. Mann, whose job was to check the signals received on the telescope. On all other pages, the signals were written in the numbers 1 and 2, but at one place, Eamon found some strange numbers and letters, such as 6EQ5. Afman saw this signal and highlighted it with his red pen and wrote "WOW" next to it. Since then, it is known as the WOW signal. But what was so special about this signal? Why has it been a mystery for astronomers for the last 47 years? And was this signal a message from the Sagittarius constellation? Or was it just a coincidence? There was a study behind the importance of the WOW signal which was released 18 years ago from this incident. It happened that in 1959, the physicists of Cornell University, Philip Morrison and Giuseppe Caponi released a paper, in which it was hypothesized that if there is an extraterrestrial civilization in the universe, then it will use a frequency of 1420 megahertz to communicate with us, which means the people living on Earth. The reason for this is that this frequency naturally comes out of hydrogen, and everyone knows that hydrogen is the most found element in this universe. And this can be a common and understandable reference for every technologically advanced civilization. That is why this frequency is considered ideal for extraterrestrial communication. After this study, in 1973, Ohio State University dedicated its radio telescope called Big Ear Telescope to extraterrestrial, which means to find signals of intelligent life outside the atmosphere of the Earth. And this mission was named Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. This mission was the longest mission of its time, which was designed to search for life outside the Earth. Big Ear Radio Telescope was present on the campus of Ohio Wesleyan University near Perkins Observatory. Its mission was to scan different parts of the sky and detect any intelligent signals. Its mission was to scan different parts of the sky and detect any intelligent signal that came from outside the Earth. Astronomer Jerry Eamon was asked to help to understand the Big Ear Radio Telescope data, who happily agreed to do this job. On the night of August 15, 1977, the signal that the telescope received at 10:16 was so unique and powerful that Eamon and his fellow scientists were amazed. The telescope recorded this signal for 72 seconds, which became 6EQ-UJ5 after the computer conversion. In this signal, numbers and letters are not hidden messages, but they show the intensity of the signal. There are 6 characters in the signal, and each character or number shows 12 seconds of time. That means the telescope will detect the signal for 12 seconds, then record it in the computer, and then record the next 12 seconds. That means if there are 6 characters in the signal and each character is 12 seconds, then it means that the signal reached the telescope for 72 seconds. Let me tell you that when there is no signal in the telescope, it records the value of 0. The smallest signal is 1, and as the numbers increase, the intensity of the signal increases. Normally, in the Big Ear Telescope, signals of 1 to 3 or 4 intensity were received, but the beginning of the WOW signal was from 6. If there is a value greater than 10, it will change in alphabet. Like 10 means A, 11 also means B, and 12 means C in the same way. It will move forward. The second part of the signal is converted to E, which means 14. That is, where the signal intensity was 6 in the last 12 seconds, the second is E, whose value is 14. The third is Q, which its value is 26. The biggest value of this signal was 30, which was converted to U, and then in the last 2 parts, its value was J, which means 20. And then 5. The most special thing about this wow signal was that it was heard only on a 1420 MHz frequency channel, the same frequency that naturally comes out of the hydrogen element. This is the reason why astronomers and scientists have sent this signal to a civilization that is as intelligent as humans. Now you must be wondering why there are so many asteroids, planets, galaxies, and clusters in the universe, and why this signal is randomly generated. So why is it being connected to aliens? Actually, 1420 MHz frequency is of hydrogen line, which emits the most common element of the universe. Scientists believe that if any alien civilization wants to communicate, then it will choose a universal and easily understood frequency which every advanced species can understand. Secondly, if the strength of the wow signal is made into a line chart, then it looks very unique. This signal went to 30 value and then gradually faded away, and such signals can only be generated intentionally. Another reason to connect the signal with aliens is that cosmic events do send signals in space, but they are not of this pattern. Meaning, the signal is slowly increasing and slowly disappearing, and neither do those signals come only once. But another special thing about the signal that points to the aliens is that it was heard only once. If the signal was generated due to a natural event, it would be heard again and again. And most importantly, not only in a frequency band of 1420 MHz. Now let's come to our second question. Which location did this signal come from? It is very difficult to find out the exact location of the signal from the Big Air telescope design. The telescope had two different structures called feed horns. Due to the rotation of the Earth, these feed horns were scanning the sky in different directions. The signal was heard in only one feed horn, but not in the other, and the data was processed in such a way that it is not possible to decide which horn heard this signal. Because of this, we have these two different locations where both the feed horns were directed at that time. And this signal could have come from these two locations, but it is not exactly confirmed which one of these two locations was it. The location of the signal was in a specific area of the Sagittarius constellation, which was near the globular cluster M55 and near the Tau Sagittarii. This mystery is still unsolved, because we know that the wow signal came from the Sagittarius constellation, but the exact coordinates are still not confirmed. There are many theories and hypotheses about the wow signal as to what it was and from where it came, but scientists do not agree on any theory. One possibility is that it was an interstellar twinkling of a weak signal, just like stars twinkle. But this signal was not detected by a very large array telescope, which is more sensitive than the Big Air. If this signal was detected on the Big Air due to interstellar twinkling, then why not on the VLA? So this theory was also wrong. The second thought is that this signal was probably generated from Earth, but was reflected by an asteroid or debris in space, and was recorded back on the Big Ear telescope. But this theory was also proved wrong later. Scientists say that if this signal was generated on Earth, then it would have been so powerful that it would have been able to come back. Another issue is that the frequency band of 1420 MHz is reserved for astronomy, and radios are not allowed to send signals on the ground. Therefore, it is not possible for the signal to be generated on Earth. Jerry Afman and other astronomers tried to find the signal 50 times again, but this signal was never heard again. In 1987 and 1989, Robert Gray used the Oak Ridge Observatory's Meta Array. In 1995, H. Paul Shue used the Greek Bank Observatory's telescope. Then, in 1999, Gray and Simon Ellingson used the Mount Pleasant Radio Observatory's 26-meter telescope. But the result was always the same. Absolutely silent. Was this signal an accident, or did aliens want to contact us and then stop? In 2017, Antonio Perez said that this signal could have come from two comets, 266 and 335 P hydrogen cloud. But astronomers rejected this idea, because the comets were not at the right spot at that time, and the second thing is that hydrogen clouds cannot throw radio signals at this frequency. Scientists said that if this signal was of any comet, both the feet would have been detected on the horns. But it didn't happen. The wow signal is a mystery that scientists still don't have an answer to. Was it a message of an alien civilization, or a natural cosmic event? The the scientific community is still trying to understand the origin of this signal. Today, 47 years have passed since the signal was recorded, but after the night of August 15, 1977, this signal was never recorded on any telescope.